Hello everyone. Today we are going to teach you about metals and non-metals. In my earlier video, I have already taken the physical properties of metals and non-metals, but in this video, I am going to take chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's see how metals react. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the sequence according to which we will discuss the chemical properties of the metals. Now see, first thing, these are the chemical properties. Main chemical properties mean the chemical reaction with metal react is with oxygen, with water and with acids. These are the three main chemical reactions that we will study. So first of all, we are coming to the reaction with oxygen. So we know that all the metals react with oxygen, and almost all metals we can say. Only the difference is that the rate of reaction is different. Okay, some metals react very vigorously and some metals react very slow. So let's see here, this is the metal, and metal is reacting with oxygen and forming metal oxide. Now we have divided the reaction into three parts: vigorous, mild and slow. Now coming to the vigorous reaction, we know the alkali metals like lithium, sodium and potassium, they react very vigorously. If you keep them open in the air, they will immediately catch fire. Okay, so this is the reason that these metals are always kept in kerosene. We can see here, this is potassium. As soon as it comes in the contact of oxygen, okay, we keep it in the air, it forms potassium oxide. Similar thing happens with the sodium. Sodium is also a very soft metal. So if you keep it open in the air, it will react with atmospheric oxygen and form sodium oxide. So this is the reason I have already mentioned here that they are almost kept in kerosene because at room temperature they will immediately catch fire. Now coming to the second part, that is mild reactions. These metals like magnesium, aluminium, zinc and lead, they react with oxygen, but the reaction is mild, means a little bit, not that much vigorous, it is a little bit slow. Like here we can see these metals, what happens? These metals react with the atmospheric oxygen and form the oxide layer, and this oxide layer prevents them from further rusting. Okay, they never get rusted. So we can see magnesium react with atmospheric oxygen and form magnesium oxide layer. Similarly, aluminium form aluminium oxide layer. So this happens at ordinary temperature, and because of this, oxidation is prevented, prevention of oxidation. That this is the reason that magnesium, aluminium, zinc and lead, they don't get oxidized. Now the slow reactions. Slow reactions are of iron and copper. We can see that copper at very low temperature, means we can say at room temperature, there is no oxidation reaction, means there is no reaction at all. But at high temperature, sufficiently high temperature, if copper comes in contact with oxygen, it forms copper oxide, means the copper turns black. Similarly, now fourth type of reaction where no reaction occurs. There are some metals which never react, like silver and gold. Even at any temperature, they will never react with oxygen, so there is no reaction. So these are the four parts we have divided reaction with oxygen. Now we are coming to second chemical property. Now metals react with water. Now this is metal and this is water. So what happens when metal comes in contact with water? Metal hydroxide is formed, and hydrogen gas is liberated and heat is also given out, means it is a type of exothermic reaction. Now we can see, again we can divide them as vigorous, mild or very slow reaction. Now see, there are few metals which react even with cold water. That means if they are kept in cold water, the reaction is very vigorous and lot of heat is given out. You can see here, this is sodium piece. If sodium piece comes in contact with water, immediately what will happen? Hydrogen gas will be evolved and lot of heat will be given out and sodium hydroxide means alkali will form. So we can test by bringing red litmus paper. If you dip it, it will convert blue color. Okay, so this is the reaction of metal with water, and the case is cold water. Means we can say that all the alkali metals react very vigorously with cold water. Now coming to second type of reaction, that is mild, means they don't react with cold water but they react with warm water, like calcium. Calcium never react with cold water, but if the water is little bit warm, it will form calcium hydroxide, hydrogen gas will be given out and heat will be given out. And third type of reaction. Now there is no reaction with cold water. We can say that cold or warm water doesn't react. But if it is steam, water is in the form of steam, what will happen? The reaction will take place. Now we can see here. Magnesium, zinc, aluminium and iron. These are the metals which never react with cold water or with warm water or with hot water, but with steam. If magnesium comes in contact with steam, it will form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas will be given out. And this magnesium will float because hydrogen gas has formed, and this hydrogen gas is lighter, so it moves upward and magnesium metals or the particles also float with it. So we can see floating magnesium particles also. Then is zinc. Zinc reacts with steam, with cold water or hot water, no reaction, but with the steam it forms zinc oxide and hydrogen. Again same thing happen, because hydrogen gas is formed, so what happens? This zinc started floating. Then is aluminium. Here you can see aluminium also reacts with steam and forms oxide and water is given out. Iron also reacts with steam and form oxide. Okay, so this is third type of reaction. So we can say that magnesium, zinc, aluminium and iron don't react with cold or warm water, but they react only with steam. So these are the equations you have to learn. Now coming to fourth type, that is lead, copper, silver and gold. They don't react neither with cold water, with warm water, with hot water, with steam. They don't react with any type of water, so there is no reaction at all. Now this is, here I have written a reactivity series. What is this reactivity series? According to this series we can say that the metals which are kept in previous order, okay, they react with cold water. As we are moving forward, they start reacting with warm water, with steam, and after all there is no reaction at all. So this is the reactivity series according to this. Means we can say potassium react with cold water but gold doesn't react. Now we are coming to third type of chemical property, that is with acids. This property is also very important because this property is used for the preparation of hydrogen gas. Now see, this is metal and metal react with acid. Here we are talking about the acid like HCl and sulfuric acid, dilute also, not about concentrate, we are talking about dilute acid. So acid means dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid, H2SO4. So what is happening? Metal salt forms and hydrogen gas is given out. So these are also used for the preparation of hydrogen. Now you can see here, this is sodium and this is HCl dilute. We are taking here, all the acids are dilute, remember it. We are talking about dilute acid. So sodium chloride is formed and hydrogen gas is given out. Similarly, magnesium react with HCl forming magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas is given out. Similarly, aluminium reacting with HCl forming aluminium chloride and hydrogen gas is given out. And again zinc reacting, it reacts with HCl also and react with sulfuric acid also. So when it reacts with sulfuric acid, zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas is formed, and remember this reaction is used for the preparation of hydrogen gas in the laboratory. Because what is happening? In case of sodium, in case of aluminum, or in case of magnesium, the reactions are very vigorous. Means hydrogen gas is formed. But we know that hydrogen is a combustible gas, so it will immediately catch fire. So that is the reason that these metals are not used for the preparation of hydrogen, but zinc metal is used for the preparation of hydrogen, because this reaction is not mild. This reaction is not very vigorous. Okay, so we can easily prepare hydrogen gas from this. Now coming to nitric acid. Dilute HCl reacts, dilute sulfuric acid reacts. But what about nitric acid? Now remember, nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing reagent. Okay, so what happens? When it reacts, what happens? It oxidizes. It oxidizes this hydrogen into water, and hydrogen gas is not formed, and itself it reduces into NO2, NO or N2O. So the reaction doesn't happen. We don't get hydrogen gas if in place of HCl or sulfuric acid we use nitric acid. And then coming to copper, silver and gold, there is no reaction at all. Copper, silver and gold doesn't react with dilute acids. But remember, gold react with aqua regia. What is aqua regia? Now aqua regia is a mixture of dilute concentrate sulfuric acid, HCl, hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, HCl and HNO3. This is a mixture of these acids. This is 3 part and this is 1 part. Okay, if concentrate HCl and concentrate nitric acid is mixed in 3:1 ratio, aqua regia is formed, and this aqua regia is able to react with gold. So if you want to purify gold, we also use aqua regia for it. Now coming to the metal oxides. So these are the chemical properties. Now about metal oxide. We know, here you have seen that what is happening, oxides are formed. You can see here all the metals are forming oxides, everywhere you can see. Now these oxides, metal oxides, are known as basic oxides, and whatever oxide, metal oxide forms, they are either soluble or insoluble. 2 types of oxides are formed. One is soluble, another is insoluble. So soluble oxides are known as basic oxides, like sodium oxide, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide and calcium oxides. They are also known as alkalis, because when you react them with water, they will form alkali. Okay, so they are known as basic oxides, and these are amphoteric, which are insoluble, like zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. They are known as amphoteric oxide, means because they are insoluble. So these react with HCl, means with acid, and with base. We can say that amphoteric oxides react with both, with acid as well as with base. But basic oxides react with acids. And similarly, non-metals also form oxide that is known as acidic oxides. So this is all about the chemical properties of metals. In our next video we will talk about reactivity series and the remaining part of this lesson. Thank you.